Hi guys, Happy New Year and welcome back to another community showcase. So we're going to be kicking things off today with Tanner Hyder's Solitaire. Beautiful model here, very muted colors, not quite the kind of, sort of blur of color standard for the Solitaire, but really sinister with a couple of little bits of color that pop out really well, like that yellow and the blue gem. So really love this miniature. Okay, we're going to move on to Paul Showbrook's Harlequin. So starting off with his Star Weaver. Amazing fade here on the diamonds. I imagine he must use an airbrush for this one because I don't know how else you would get that effect. And I really like these blues and purples with that flash of yellow as well, really popping out on the miniature. We can see that here as well on his Troopmaster with the mohawk in the turquoise, more blues and purples, and the diamonds are done really well. And the gold and the yellow stand out really well on this one. I think it's a great looking army so far. I hope he does a little bit more with the basing. I think he did say that he was going to work on that. So yeah, would love to see a bit more of this army. These bikes are fantastic as well with that purple fade. I kind of hope that for every unit he might think about doing like a different fade color for each unit of bikes. But beautiful work so far. Really excited to see what he does with it. Moving on to the army that I've been, borrowing, essentially, to Nick's Harlequins with this Galaxy effect. I really like this effect on Harlequins. I've seen it done a couple of times, and Nick's done it very well here. That black with dry brushing, and then you just flick a bunch of white at it, and it looks great. So thank you to all of you guys. Moving on to the last army, and this, sorry everyone, but this is my favorite Harlequins army that I have ever seen online. It's Tom Taylor Briggs Harlequins. This first Troopmaster is a little bit different in terms of its scheme to the rest of the army, as we'll see a bit later on. And we've got Evrain here. He uses them as Ynnari Harlequins, as I said. And it's just beautiful. Like the work on this is just phenomenal. All of the painting is perfectly done. Love the glow on the eyes and these leaves on the base and all of it. Just amazing. So this is the standard scheme for most of the Harlequins, this white, this perfect white. And I'm sure I don't have to tell all of you how difficult it is to get white this perfect. And it takes about, I think, 7 layers of color to get this effect. And you can see all of these free hands like the mountain and the cherry blossoms, and you can see the theme running through here, very much inspired by Japanese artworks, with little flashes of color, but generally quite a muted standard color scheme, like where you don't have all that much color, but then those little touches in there that really stand out. So I absolutely love this army. You can see here as well with the troops that each one of his models is individual. It's done differently. So little changes here. We've got this Harlequin sort of sat here looking at a mask and mourning his comrades. We've got the puppeteer as well, which we can see here with a little bit more detail. This creepy little mannequin that he's holding in front of him while he smiles grimly at his opponent. Really lovely work. And that's, I think, what I love about this army most is the level of detail and attention to tiny little differences. Like, I don't know how he sources a lot of his parts, but here we can see that the claw from, I think it's a Rogue Trader Harlequin, and he uses the sashes to stand them up, and obviously he's been clipping them away from their bases and then reposing them and making them really dynamic and individual. And I think this is what we all aspire to, really. We want our armies to look amazing. We want things to look individual. And I don't know who he sold his soul to be able to create all this, but honestly, I don't know how you would go about this. My level of skill is just not there. Here we have his Star Weaver, or one of the Star Weavers, I think one of the first models that he painted as well for this army. And you can really see that effect much more clearly as well of the cherry blossoms, because it really pops out on that scheme. A little bit of blue and a little bit of yellow there as well. I think today's been the day of yellow as the pop-out color. And on the bikes as well, we've got this intermittent black and white, and then the free hands. I mean, it's just incredible. So I love this army. I can't wait to see the full 2,000 points. I think they are beautiful, and I'm really grateful for him sending these in. So thank you very much. That's been another community showcase. Like and comment below.